We'd like to hear some thoughts.
Would we?
But he did not fix Mike and Elle's relationship. Yes, he did. Will had absolutely zero
Well, no, he
idea.
didn't, because it's not fixed.
It's all flirty. It's flirting.
We'll have to show those clips to
It's
you.
factually, it is objectively flirting. Good. But that's not Are you in love with your puppy? Huh? You should not be allowed anywhere near animals. I'm about to say a big lie. I love you.
I say it. Yeah, that's romantic.
Get this girl to the insane asylum. We gotta go back to finding Will.
Who has a binder full of drawings from their best friend?
As someone who in real life struggles to say that to people, still don't understand Mike. I give a teenager perspective, and I still think that they are gay. Leave a dislike on this video if you hate this video. If you're anti-Byler, then please dislike this video. Here we go. Here it is. Why was Mike acting so weird at the airport? It has been something like 6 months, since Will moved away, and Mike has barely heard from him. Mike and Dustin both mentioned that Mike has tried to call the Byers' house and been blocked because Joyce's telemarketing job ties up the line. And guess what else he says in that line? Dustin says, Mike won't stop whining about it.
And yeah, Will never reached out.
But Will never reached out to him. I've had that same thing happen to me IRL because being on Mike's side is always awkward, and I'm never sure if I should try reaching out because they haven't contacted me and clearly they'll miss me.
I don't know if I've ever been like mad or awkward or whatever around someone in that kind of situation though, like when you actually see them again. Like they knew they were getting together, they were excited about seeing each other, like I don't know.
Yeah. Because I've had the same thing, like, where I haven't talked to someone in a while, and, like, I don't know. I've had the same thing, but if I saw them again, especially if it was, like, my best friend, even if I hadn't seen them for a long time, and we hadn't really been talking, and I was, like, that was a thing happening, I would still not be that awkward with them when we saw each other again, I feel like. But that's me. But...
Yeah,
sure.
When they get home, they like run and hug people on the driveway and whatever, and they haven't seen them in a while. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, like they haven't seen Hopper in forever. They thought he was dead.
Yeah,
but they're not awkward with him. Yeah, and he doesn't even have a good relationship with Hopper. Not really. Not at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, okay. I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Will didn't reach out to Mike, or why Mike at that point during the fight didn't say
that I tried to call you.
Like, why does he not tell
Why didn't
Will?
he say that? And then, yeah, why didn't Will reach out? Maybe because he's...
Yeah, because he does say, like, why am I the bad guy? Like, you could have called too, or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, why is this on me? But then he could have, at that moment, it would have made a lot of sense to say, I did try calling.
Yeah.
And the line
was
busy.
But he didn't, for some reason. But yeah, no one's saying that it's entirely his fault. It's on both of them for not reaching out. Like, we acknowledge that. But there's still just... it seems strange. The airport scene is just strange. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. Because he also hasn't really seen Elle. Like, yeah, they've been writing letters and stuff, I guess. So I guess they haven't been, like... But he hasn't seen her for the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I guess the difference is that they have been writing to each other. But we never see what Mike was writing to her. We'll never hear one of Elle's letters.
Yeah. So... And then the whole thing with the painting, like, that was very weird.
That was very weird.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh, it's a painting. Okay, whatever. Like, you think he would ask more follow-up questions about, oh, what is it?
Hey,
what did you paint it for?
What's that? Oh, it's just a painting. Okay, cool. Oh, cool.
And And, like, the fact that Elle mentions the painting in her letter specifically and that she thinks it's for a girl, like, why even bring that up unless it matters? Like, and then the painting is there at the airport, and then Mike acts all awkward about it. And, like, I don't know. It makes no sense to bring that up if that's not important in any way. Like, that, why would they even bother putting it in the letter? And then having it at the airport and having it be this awkward moment between them.
These are two entirely different instances. Mike's monologue and calling upon her own love for Mike and his love for her is what helps her get the upper hand on and kick Henry's butt. Her calling on her memories of / with Max don't negate her love for Mike. It's just because she's trying to use her powers to do supernatural CPR to get Max's heart beating again. Okay.
True.
Also, I'd just like to preface for this post, these are not necessarily, like, my points. Like, I don't agree necessarily with all of them fully. I think some of them make sense in more detail and, like, with, like, along with other things. But these are not necessarily, like, I don't think these are, like, the best evidence ever. I just wanted to take some of these common scenes that Bylers mention a lot and see what non-Bylers think of it. So these are aren't necessarily all, like, my, like, favorite evidence or anything, or, like, things that I think are, like, the best. I don't know. So, anyway, she draws on these memories with Max because Elle is finally starting to realize that love makes her powers stronger. There is more to life than boys and romance. Their friendship and platonic love in Stranger Things has been filled with platonic love since 101. Why a majority of things in the series even happen, but you don't need to choose one or the other. I mean, yeah, it's true, fair. You can have both, and Elle realizes that all forms of are equal in strength in her powers. Yes, she didn't talk to Mike much, but she didn't talk to other people in the van at all. The fact that she talked to Mike somewhat means she trusts him and loves him.
Does it?
At least this person's actually, like, going in depth and making points. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, like, some of these are, like, we're completely tearing them apart, and then other things are, like, it's an okay point. I understand that interpretation of it. It's, like, it's okay. There's nothing clearly, like, wrong with what they're saying. Mm-hmm. I don't agree necessarily with that interpretation, but it's okay. Like, I feel like that's a fair interpretation to make. Sure. Mike claims that he loved Duffer, but Duffers don't believe in that. Do you have a print audio source for the Duffers saying this? Based on how they filmed the meeting in season 1, I find it hard to believe. Did you watch season 1?
The meeting in season 1? Like, in the rain, in the woods? Did you actually see that as love at first sight?
Some people apparently did.
What? What? That was them looking for their friend who's missing, finding somebody, hoping it was him, and being disappointed it wasn't. And then, you know, being like, okay, we got this kid we need to figure out what to do with. And, like, yeah, wanting to send her back to wherever she came from. No.
The fact that he wanted to send her back proves that that's a lie. That's not true. But, yeah. If the thing is true about it being an assistant and that, like, it wasn't actually Duffers saying that thing or whatever, then sure. But that's one of the smaller claims. I don't necessarily think that's the most important thing. Like we talked about earlier, even without that and without the Eden and Argyle thing, just season 1 alone proves that he was lying and that it wasn't love at first sight, because he wasn't acting like it was. It definitely wasn't, based on just his actions and sentences, like his dialogue and actions in season 1. Just.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand the next sentence.
Even if the lampshade,
What?
Even if they did lampshade the trope later on with other characters, it was before that, actually, not later. It was they made fun of it before the monologue.
At Susie's house.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That matters. I think it does.
Otherwise, what was the point of that scene?
What was the point of using that? Like, no, it does.
That led to, like, what was the point of that whole thing with Eden and Argyle?
Especially if they're not bringing Argyle back for season 5, because they're not.
No, they're not.
Argyle's not coming back, so what was the point of that? Nothing.
Like, yeah, nothing. Like, they
comedy
went and made out in the van and got stoned, and that was the end of it. They'll never see each other again. Like, what was the point? Why even include that?
Yeah, the Duffers, like, literally the creators have confirmed, like, they, like, everything, every detail is, it's important. They don't just include things for no reason. And, maybe you could say, well, they included it just for comedy.
Comic relief.
But why did they make the comedy based on that trope if they were later going to use that trope seriously for their main characters?
Yeah, and
that would be weird.
Wasn't really all that funny. I don't know. I didn't find it super comedic. It was just kind of cheesy and
that's the point.
It was kind of there.
Yeah.
Like, they could have done.
They were making fun of it.
Yeah.
So, like, it was supposed to be cheesy because it's stupid. That's the point. Even so, Mike is a 15-year-old boy talking to his first love. Emphasis on first love. He's allowed to be a little cheesy and hyperbolic. That's what your teen years are for. Sure. I don't disagree with that necessarily. Fair, I guess. Sure. But
yeah, he's definitely allowed to, but that doesn't mean that what he said was true.
Yeah.
Because his actions contradict it completely.
Yeah. Meaning in season 1, I find it hard to believe. Did you watch season 1? Were you paying attention?
The entire season was, we gotta find Will! Where's Will?
We gotta find Will! Get this girl to the insane asylum! We gotta go back to finding Will!
You said he was alive! You were supposed to find him alive! What's wrong with you?
What is wrong with you? You lied! You said he was alive!
You hurt me!
Yeah! Yes! Love at first sight! Clearly!
Well, he's, like, fingering the drawings so, like, lovingly.
Let me just caress these drawings from my best friend.
Who has a binder full of drawings from their best friend? Mike has more of Will's drawings than his own mom.
Yes! Literally. Okay.
Anyways.
Duffers used Will's feelings to fix Mike and Elle's relationship. It makes 100% sense that it happened that way. Does it? Because with Lucas and Max getting back together, they did it on their own and solidified their relationship as a power couple by working through their issues together and not by, using other people to help them. They worked through it as individuals and as a couple.
And yeah, there's nothing wrong with, like, talking to your friends and using that advice to help you work through stuff. That's totally fine. But yeah, it's just the way they did it, where they had this one scene and then they take those same words and use them in another scene that's supposed to be, like, it's supposed to be intimate and this, like, big love confession, this powerful thing, and it's
people think that's what it's supposed to be. That's not what it seems like. That's not how we think it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, but it's sort of framed like it's supposed to be, but it's not.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people think that it is supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, let's just... Will is a 15-year-old boy who has been growing up and through his tween into teen years at the height of the AIDS epidemic. Not to mention he's been horrifically harassed, but not only his middle school peers, but also in his formative years by his father. It makes complete sense that Will would not be ready to officially come out, much less a relationship. Okay, how is that relevant to the point? And the chances of him getting with Mike are pretty much non-existent, but he still feels the need to get his feelings off his chest, so he substitutes himself for Elle. That way he can get some closure on the relationship without actually having to put himself in a potentially dangerous situation and out himself in the backseat of a car traveling through Nevada to 3 people he has no way of truly knowing how they will react. But that just doesn't seem like good writing. That's the difference. That just seems like a cop-out.
And the whole, having the painting, lying about where the painting came from, that is going to come up again. Like, it has to. You can't just sort of, like there was a reason for that. So if the whole thing was just for him to get closure on his feelings...
He didn't need to lie about the painting.
Yeah.
He chose to do that. Did you paint this? He could have just said, yeah. And Mike probably would have interpreted it as platonic. Yeah. And that would have been it. That would have been fine.
Because, yeah, he clearly was really happy with the painting, thought it was great.
And Will could still tell Mike how much he cares about him as a friend and, like, make it out to be platonic and not out himself and doesn't need to bring Elle into it at all. And he could still, somewhat... I also don't think that counts as closure. I think that is another... I think that's more that he needs... I think that's something he needs to get closure on, is the van scene itself. The van scene is not closure.
No, yeah, the van scene is very wide open. Like, they need to go back and address the things that happened during the van scene. Because, yeah, that was left very much unresolved.
Are you satisfied with that writing choice? Apparently this person is. I'm not. I'm not satisfied with that writing choice. I think that's stupid. I think if this is the case, then that's... I don't know, that kind of just feels, like, cheap. I feel like using the gay character to fix the main straight couple, like, that's just kind of, like, they're just using him. I don't like that.
No.
He's just, in that case, he's just kind of like a prop to, like, just to move their relationship forward, and he gets nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good writing, and that's not fair to Will, and that's not, like, that just feels like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't see that as being what that scene was about. But, I mean, I guess you could interpret it that way. That is... It's not, like, way out to lunch like some of these other things. Yeah. But...
Fair interpretation, once again, it's an okay point. It's okay.
Don't really agree, but yeah.
Kind of see where it's coming from, but at the same time, would that be good writing? I don't think so. Mike Wheeler's a 15-year-old boy with emotionally unavailable parents and a deep-seated fear that he's going to lose the love of his life one day.
I don't think he does. Like, people keep saying he has emotionally unavailable parents. He's had a lot of heart-to-heart talks with his mom. Like, his mom is not emotionally unavailable at all.
No, he, like, in season 3, he hugs his mom, and in season 1, he hugs his mom and has, like, these emotional moments with her.
Yeah, and the whole talk about, like, I want you to feel like you can talk to me, like...
And then, yeah, when he comes back in season 4, she's like, you're never leaving again. Like, they are close.
Yeah.
He's close with his mom. With his dad, not really, but he's close with his mom.
Yeah, so I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they have that whole scene, like, when he stays home from school, when Will is missing, where his mom's like, I want you to feel like you can talk to me about anything, and... Like, don't be afraid, you don't have to hide anything from me.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty good relationship. Just because his parents' relationship isn't really all that solid doesn't mean he's not close to his mom or that she's emotionally unavailable. I don't see that. She's got some heart-to-hearts with Nancy, too.
Yeah.
Where, like, she's a pretty good mom.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like, in the situation that they're in, yeah, that's fine. And we've already talked about the losing Elle thing. We've discussed that, so... Saying I love you to her or telling someone she's upset because I won't say I love you would make his feelings all the more real and would make the potential loss all the more real and frightening. What? How exactly?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess I kind of get that. But at the same time, that just feels like more of what Will was saying. That feels like more of using Will's words.
Yeah.
Like, I thought if I said how I feel, it would make that day hurt more. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like...
Is that like a common thing where people don't say I love you because they're afraid of losing the person?
I don't know.
Especially when not saying I love you will make them lose the person?
Yeah, no, like, that makes zero sense. I don't understand that, but that seems to be like so much what the general audience sees that as.
That they take his words at face value. Like, oh, this is what he said, so that must be what he meant. But that makes no sense. If he actually loves her, why would he not say that?
Exactly.
Especially when she's saying, I want you to say this. And that's what their whole fight was about.
As someone in real life who has trouble saying I love you to people, I can still say it in general. I just can't say it to people easily. For some reason, it makes me uncomfortable. But that's just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the autism. I don't know. At least since like middle school, I started like feeling uncomfortable saying that to people. Even though I care about them, I can't do that. It's difficult for some reason. And even now, with my girlfriend, I love her, and I have said it to her, but it is tricky. I have to, like, force myself to say it. Not because I don't love her, but because I just, for some reason, have difficulty saying that. And I still don't understand Mike. I still, as someone who in real life struggles to say that to people, Mike's situation is different. It's not like that. I don't see that making sense for him.
And you definitely don't have emotionally unavailable parents.
No.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get that. So then why would that stop him from the whole thing where it says telling someone she's upset because I won't say I love you? Like, why would he not say that to Will when they're talking about, like, the fight and what happened? Like,
he's just so vague.
Yeah.
Like, why?
If I didn't, like, that whole conversation is really weirdly worded. There's this thing, and I didn't say, if I'd said that thing, maybe things would be different. And, like why wouldn't you just come right out and say what it was?
And guess what? I can still say the word love. I don't say blank makes you crazy. Because that would be stupid.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, I think, like, he didn't tell Will what the problem was because he didn't want Will asking, why can't you say it? Because then he'd have to explain to him why he can't say it.
That's why, yeah. But also these things about bringing up their ages. I'm around the same age they are. So I can kind of give a perspective from a teenager. I give a teenager perspective. Mm-hmm. And I still think that they are gay. That this makes zero sense. I mean, some of these things make slight sense, but I don't agree.
On a surface level, sure, it makes a lot of sense.
Once you look deeper, it's just...
It no longer makes sense. It kind of falls apart pretty quickly.
Yeah, because the show catches up with these children once a year during the worst week of their lives, and they have more pressing plot-related matters to tend to.
Than showing them doing stuff that they enjoy together, or actually, like, showing that they like each other.
Why didn't they do that during the beginning of season 3?
Yeah, they managed to show the party, playing D&D together, going to the arcade together, going to the movies together. They show, like, Mike and his friends doing all these common related interest things together, but he doesn't do any of that with Elle.
And saying nice things to each other, like Mike, like, reassuring Dustin about his disability, being like, I think it's cool. It's like a superpower, like saying, like reassuring him and like, once again, he is doing the superhero thing, but I think it's slightly different because he doesn't actually have powers, and that is something more connected to him as a person to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they show him and his friends doing stuff together, and yeah, Elle can't go out and do stuff because of her situation, but they could show them, like, playing a board game or watching a movie or something at the cabin. Like, they show them at the cabin, but they don't show them really doing anything that's other than kissing.
Because the Mileven breakup was not meant to be serious. But why wasn't it? Why wasn't that serious?
Yeah, if it's a serious relationship, wouldn't their breakup be serious?
Elle even still claims that he's her boyfriend 14 on-screen minutes later, less even if you skip the closing credits. I think they mean it's not supposed to be taken seriously because their breakup wasn't real. Like, they were still together, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's why these people keep saying that it's not meant to be serious. Like,
because it didn't really happen.
They never broke up to begin with. Like, they basically were still together.
Okay,
like, in that way.
I understand what they're saying. I disagree, because she dumped his ass. She said that. And yeah, she mistakenly calls him her boyfriend, but then corrects herself when she realizes, oh, no, he's
I think
my
Max corrects her.
Oh, okay.
Max corrects her.
Yeah, okay, you're right, yeah.
And then she looks kind of sad, and then Max says the thing about him crawling back.
Yeah.
But
she does say, like...
That's an easy mistake to make when you, like, previously were with someone and then are talking about them and refer to them.
Yeah.
Like...
And was it Max asked, like, if he's a good kisser? And she's like, I don't know, he's my first boyfriend? Like, it's kind of a weird response.
I don't remember that.
Like, that's how that whole thing came up. Because, yeah, she's like, I don't know, he's my first boyfriend. And then she's like, ex-boyfriend. Because, Max corrects her, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sort of implies that he's not your last boyfriend. And she doesn't even know if he's a good kisser. Like, weird.
Mike was a 14-year-old boy who was threatened by an almost 50-year-old man. He did not lie of his out of the clear blue sky. He lied because he didn't want Hopper to make good on his threats, and he didn't want Elle to be upset with Hopper. He also does come clean and try to talk to Elle in about episode 4. Not to mention, he last saw Elle running away and giggling with Max and was trying to brainstorm with Lucas how to go about apologizing to her about all of it, whereas Will left Mike's house in the pouring rain genuinely upset. Yes, and that's part of the that's part of the point. That why the difference in why is it so contrasting? Yeah. Why was she broke up with her boyfriend and she was like running off with her friend giggling and having fun and being happy? The level of urgency is different in both cases because the situations in which they left were different. One of them was not the hurt party and the other was.
That is true. That is a good point.
Yes.
I would agree with that. Definitely the level of urgency. But they chose to make it that way.
But they chose the level of urgency. The creators chose the level of urgency. And the fact that the level of urgency is different is the point. The point is that the level of urgency is made different.
Yeah.
Why is the level of urgency on this one so much more than this one? Even though you'd think the romantic relationship would be important. If it was, a serious relationship.
Yeah, and he's not, I don't know, the whole brainstorming about how to apologize or whatever, like, they're...
No, he's not.
They're, like, burping and farting and...
Yes. And then he only does when Lucas, like, has to encourage him to, has to, like, convince him to, like, get something for Elle to say that he's sorry and whatever, like... He has to tell Mike what to do instead of Mike just doing it.
Yeah, he's mostly just whining about, like, I don't understand what I did wrong. What did I do wrong?
Yeah, he literally says, what did I do wrong when he knows he lied?
He knows exactly what he did wrong. It's so weird. Instead of being like, okay, how do I fix this? Like, obviously I screwed up. What do I do? How do I fix this?
God, she found out that I lied. Like, he didn't even say anything like that. He said, what the heck did I do? I don't know what I did. Yes, you do.
You told her your grandmother was sick or dying or whatever, and then you went to the mall.
And you know that's not true. Like, yeah, like, he knows he lied, so why is he denying that he lied and not, like, that doesn't make any sense. It's really weird. It's really weird. Like, okay, this one had some okay things where it's like, that's a fair interpretation, I guess.
This is probably one of the more intelligent responses.
Sure, yeah.
Well thought out. And, yeah, I could see, like, from their point of view that's how they see it, and sure. And that's probably the first time I watched the show I probably would have agreed with that and seen it the same way before I actually looked into it a little more. I don't know. Which, yeah, they're all like, oh, you're overthinking this, you're looking into it too much.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's why we actually see all this other stuff, because we are overthinking it and looking into it too much. Like,
that's the point. That's what that's what the creators want. Like, they've said that they put little Easter eggs and secrets and little, like, clues and stuff and foreshadowing, and, like, they put all these little details in for people to find.
That's what makes the show so much more than just a show. Like, I don't know, that's what makes it so engaging and makes you, like, care about it so much. Like, that it is so complex and interesting, and these relationships are not just your basic, like, tropes that you see in every show. Like, it's not just some, like, rom-com. Like, there's a lot more to it. Like, it's deep. Yeah, there's, like, a lot of symbolism, even just with the horror aspect of it, the monsters and whatever. It's all, like, symbolic of other situations that they're going through, like puberty and being
and the Duffers confirmed that one.
Yeah,
the Duffers confirmed the puberty monster
in season 3.
Being, like, the meat flayers, like, represents puberty in season 3.
And then season 4 with Eddie saying, like, it's forced conformity
that's
it's
killing the kids.
And then Vecna goes and kills the
a bunch
kids.
Of teens.
And like, so he represents forced conformity. Like, he is basically, like, homophobia, or
I think a lot of people would deny that correlation like that between.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people would deny that.
I think that's pretty obvious.
I feel like I don't know, sure, but I feel like lots of people would deny it.
I'm sure lots of people would deny it, but to me that seems like they're telling you exactly what's happening.
Yeah, especially once they already confirmed that, like, the meat flayer had symbolism and other meaning.
And then, yeah, it's Eddie who creates this D&D campaign with Vecna and introduces the whole idea of Vecna to us.
Yeah.
And he's the one who says, like, forced conformity is what's killing the kids. And all the people that Vecna kills, their struggles are with, like, forced conformity, really. Like, Chrissy with her, like, anorexia and eating disorder and wanting to fit this idealized version of what a girl is supposed to be that her mom keeps, like, forcing on her. Or at least in her visions, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the boy, Freddy?
Yeah.
Or something, yeah.
Something to do with an accident and feeling guilty about somebody getting hurt in an accident.
How would that be related to forced conformity? That one's a little different, yeah. But that doesn't mean that Vecna isn't forced conformity, just because he's not the situation. He's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, that one's a little bit more.
But yeah, it's all about, like, guilty feelings or unresolved feelings.
Anyway, forced conformity is what's killing the traumatized teens.
Yes.
Basically. He goes out and kills a bunch of traumatized teenagers. Hooray.
Great. And yeah, the show is basically all about, like, people who are different trying to fit in.
And they said that.
Trying not to not fit in.
The creators said that this show is like the anthem for the outcasts and the marginalized.
Like Lucas saying, like, well, we want to be popular, don't we? We don't want to be, like, geeks and losers for the rest of our high school career or whatever. I don't remember the exact
Has it
wording.
ever occurred to you that we don't want to be popular?
See, like,
then goes to California as super fake. Right.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Hooray!
That's all for this one, folks.
Good job.
Come back another time for more Byler Theory with Byler Mom and Byler Child.
Hello. I can't see my hand. I'm waving. Yeah. Wrong hand. Hello.
Leave a comment with your thoughts below, and if you like the video, then like the video, and if you don't like the video, then dislike the video. Leave some dislikes, cause who cares? The algorithm likes them anyway, so leave a dislike on this video if you hate this video. If you're anti-Byler, then please dislike this video. Yeah, leave any comments with thoughts you have about anything
that we talked about, or
or
anything.
Anything. So anyway, see you next time in the next time.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Editing Byler Child here, and today I'm just here at the end of the video to let you guys know that thanks for watching. So thanks for watching that video series. I hope you watched all 3 parts. If you didn't, then how dare you. Thanks for making it to the end, and I hope you enjoyed. I have a band-aid on my finger because a mosquito bit my finger. So that's fun. Anyway, you may notice that I'm on the other side of the room. Which I am. Good job. We moved. Not houses. I mean, I moved to the other side of the room. My brother in the background of the video that you just watched, he moved his computer upstairs to his room, so I got his table on this side with my own computer. Now I have my own Byler colored computer, blue, green, and yellow. You can't see it, but it's wonderful. And so this is our new setup, sort of, for now. It'll probably be like this for a while. So, yeah. I got a chair. I got a nice chair. And, so hopefully we'll, get around to recording some more videos, and then we'll edit them, and we'll figure all that out. But yeah, for now, that's all the videos we have prepared. So it may be a little while before the next Byler Theory episode comes out. But I hope you enjoyed what we have so far, and if you like Detroit Become Human, then hit me up. I don't know. Because my special interest in the android sent by Cyberlife has returned after 4 years of being gone, so we love that. It's a great time. I've been playing the game again. It's awesome. If you don't know what Detroit Become Human is, then how dare you? You're missing out. Seriously. It's awesome. Best game ever. See you all in next episode of Byler Theory.